Greetings, YouTube nerds, Tech Nerd 1.0 here. So what I want to talk about today, this is a quick video. I want to talk about Ranger bands. These are Ranger bands. What are they? How do you make them? And what do you do with them? So as to what they are, essentially, they're just really, really tough rubber bands. That's pretty much it. And you can use them pretty much for the same sort of things. Binding stuff together is pretty much most of what they do. But in the prepper kind of whatever sporting gun community, there's a few other different types of uses. But first, we're going to show you how to make them. Now, you can order Ranger bands if you want, and I will provide a link down below here to an Amazon affiliate where you can order them from. Now, I think these are veteran-made ones, but don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure. But you can check it out when you see. But that is essentially really the only reason why you would want to buy Ranger bands yourself and not make them. If they're veteran-made and you just want to support some veterans or something, you know, that's fine. That's cool. But you can pretty much make them for pennies, literally pennies, or free, really. All they are is an inner tube ring, and they're cut into strips. That's it. Now, this is an old bike inner tube that I had, and so we're going to make a couple right here. And this is going to be a little bit of do as I say rather than do as I do. Get some sharp scissors. These are crappy dollar store scissors, because you'll end up getting some uneven cuts, and we'll kind of show you how that's going to go here. See, these are kind of binding up a little bit already. So those are, that's kind of a thin one right there. And you can see they're pretty good. They're not as stretchy as regular rubber bands, but they hold quite a bit better. All right. So now, you can make them however thick or however thin you want. I'll tell you right now, the thicker ones like this is definitely going to hold better, going to hold more than this one. This one, if you, yeah, that'll just break if you pull it hard enough, you know. So, but of course it's better than regular rubber bands. Now, what to do with them? First off, if you've got some of these thin ones and they're broken up, you can actually use these as kind of makeshift fire starters. They actually work pretty well. And when they're cut up like this, they work really well. So first thing, that's good there. Second is just a binding instrument like this. This is a little first aid kit I keep in my car, and I have this rescue blanket on top of it. It did not fit inside, so I just put these bands over it and kind of secured it in place. So that is use number 2. Now, use number 3, you have probably seen this before, and you may have even wondered why people are doing this and what it's for. But this is on a stock. You may have seen these little black bands and wondered what they are for. This is a B5 stock that I have. And people put them there basically to keep their, they're there to keep their sling in place. You know, you put it, you wrap it around, and then you keep it down. You wrap it down under here and keep the sling in place. Now, if you want to make one of these for your stock, you're going to want to make a fairly thick-sized one. That's what she said. And so I'm going to go something maybe about this size, and this might be, I don't know. And then I'll show you another trick for what to do with these. This is pretty good size, but see, this is what I mean. You're going to get kind of off kilter here, and if your OCD is anything like mine, this can't stand. So you're gonna want to straighten that out, of course. Now that's the other thing with the pre-made ones you might buy on Amazon. They're gonna be all straight and everything. They're not gonna look as rough. But one of the other things that you will find is when you get these, they're gonna have all these ridges and everything on the outside. And if you want to have one that's kind of smooth on the outside on your stock, I'll show you the trick. The easiest thing to do is just flip it around like that. Now you will find, unfortunately, on the inside, they're usually discolored. There's a couple different ways you can get around that, and the easiest way I have found is to use something like this. This is frog lube. Now this is actually safe for rubber and plastic, but if you just take a little bit on your hand and then rub it in, it will bring back that kind of black luster to it. And as I said, it's not going to destroy the rubber. In fact, it makes it a little bit more tacky, and that might be a little bit better. Plus, if you lube it up a little bit on the inside, it's gonna slip onto the stock a little bit better. But see, that looked quite a bit better. So, all right. So, last use of Ranger bands, at least that we're going to talk about here, is if you want to have a kind of a makeshift grip, plastic grip. Now they sell these, obviously Hogue sells tons of these. They're really famous for that. But you can make your own, and you can make it using a piece of inner tube. And this isn't really a Ranger band more than just use of an inner tube. But we'll make one here. Now, ironically, I don't believe I can show you installing this because of YouTube's new regulations. So I will have to do this off camera, and you can all entertain yourselves. Well, this is certainly not ideal, but if you're out there in the field and you need a grip, you just need something quick, this isn't a bad idea. Now, if you want to get this a little grippier, if you want to get this so it's a little tackier, use a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and I have some right here in a bottle that I have been using to keep the coof off of me since this is summer of 2020, and that'll make the rubber a little bit more grippier and tackier. And you can do that on these too, or if you want that on your stock band, you can do that too. So anyways, guys, that's really about it. That's really about all I had for you. That is how to make Ranger bands. Now, if you want, you can get a carabiner and you can kind of put them around like this. I do this, and I hang them from bags and packs and stuff. One more bonus thing you can do with them, you could make zipper pulls out of them. You know, I have paracord ones here, but again, kind of a makeshift thing if you wanted to do it for that. But there's 101 different uses for these: camping stuff, tent stuff, just about anything. But that's Ranger bands, how to make them, what to use them for. If you guys have any ideas for your own, different things you want to use or you can use Ranger bands for, or ideas for how to make them or how to make them better, go ahead and leave a comment down below here. Of course, always like, share, and subscribe, and more videos will be coming later on. Later, folks.